Disclaimer: this is an emergency alert system scenario. It is completely fictive. All images belong to their original owners. This may include valid or invalid emergency alert system tones. Do not play this over the air or in the form of radio waves, as this can cause a false activation of the emergency alert system and can cause mass and potentially widespread panic. The owner will not be held responsible for any issues caused. This has somewhat loud and possibly scary sounds and noises, as well as descriptions that some people may find creepy. Viewer discretion is advised. You have been warned. This is NBC6 News in Miami, Florida. I am your host, Marvin. Today our top story is the formation of an invest forming the Atlantic Ocean. This tropical invest is the remains of an earlier tropical system. It is expected to collide with remains of yet another tropical system. The invest's pressure is dropping rapidly and hurricane hunters are preparing to be dispatched. It is expected that if the conditions persist, this may become a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center has already said this storm is a cause for concern. In other news, the Sudan-South Sudan war has recently ended. Both countries have agreed to reunite under the Treaty of Juba. They will be semi-independent, allowing each other to make their own decisions. However, they will still be under one banner. The new Sagrada Familia building has finally been constructed. This building in Barcelona, Spain is now the second tallest basilica in the world. A 43-year-old man was found dead in his apartment. Foul play is likely involved and the suspect may be a currently wanted 40-year-old man. The police suspect the reason behind this was an event that occurred when the two were younger. Now we go to Danielle with the weather.
Thank you, Marvin. We expect a mix between clear and stormy weather over the next 5 days. Tonight it will dip down into the upper 50s, and during the night it will not get above 71 degrees. Tomorrow, expect storms with a high of around 85 degrees. The day after it will be overcast and somewhat mild in temperature. Then it will be stormy as the tropical invest will have likely become something and hit the area. It will be the coolest on that day out of these 5 days. Then the next day it'll be bright and sunny with a high of 93 degrees. On that day it might be good for a day at the beach if the storm doesn't trash everything. Back to you, Marvin.
Thank you, Danielle. Coming up after this commercial break, a new company is designing the first ever nuclear cars, which, if they are successful, they could be better than electric cars. This is NOAA Weather Radio, All Hazards Station KHB 34. The current time is 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Here are the 9 a.m. observations. In Miami, it was sunny. Temperature 79 degrees. Feels like temperature 83 degrees. Humidity 75%. Dew point 42 degrees. Wind blowing north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 35%. In Fort Lauderdale, it was slightly cloudy. Temperature 77 degrees. Feels like temperature 78 degrees. Humidity 73%. Dew point 42 degrees. Wind blowing north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 40%. In Gainesville, it was thunderstorms. Temperature 70 degrees. Feels like temperature 68 degrees. Humidity 81%. Dew point 44 degrees. Wind blowing north at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation 100%. Here is a weather statement from the National Hurricane Center. Tropical storm Sophia has been rapidly developing. It may become a hurricane over the next few hours. The National Weather Service has issued a hurricane watch until 1:05 p.m. Saturday. Hurricane conditions expected within 48 hours. What to expect? Winds of 115 miles per hour or greater. Winds could gust up to 130 miles per hour. Storm surge up to 4 feet. Flooding is likely. Precautionary/preparedness actions. Keep emergency supplies ready in case you need it. This includes food, water, medical supplies, a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, preferably NOAA brand, extra batteries, a flashlight, clothing, a phone and any insurance you might need. No evacuation order has been given. However, all persons must be prepared in case this does happen. Stay tuned to NOAA weather radio or news outlets for the latest updates on the situation. The National Weather Service has issued a hurricane warning, which is in effect until 7 p.m. Sunday. Hurricane conditions are expected within 24 hours. What to expect? Winds up to 130 miles per hour. Wind may gust up to 145 miles per hour. Storm surge up to 5 feet is expected. Residents are advised to evacuate. Precautionary/preparedness actions. For your safety, evacuate now. Keep emergency supplies ready in case you need it. This includes food, water, medical supplies, a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, preferably NOAA brand, extra batteries, a flashlight, clothing, a phone and any insurance you might need. No evacuation order has been given. However, all persons must be prepared in case this does happen. Stay tuned to NOAA weather radio or news outlets for the latest updates on the situation.
Tsunami warning. Tsunami warning. A tsunami warning has been issued. Tsunami warning. Tsunami warning. The following message is transmitted at the request of United Caribbean Republic Government, New Atlantic Tsunami Warning Center, Caribbean Emergency Management. A deadly situation is unfolding in the entirety of the nation. A massive hurricane has explosively intensified. This somehow resulted in a catastrophic tsunami. All residents are advised to do vertical evacuation at once. This is, simply, the movement to higher ground. Act now to protect your life. Do not wait, act now. Now repeating in Spanish.
Alerta de tsunami. Alerta de tsunami. Se ha emitido una alerta de tsunami. Alerta de tsunami. Alerta de tsunami. El siguiente mensaje se transmite a petición de Gobierno de la República Unida del Caribe. Nuevo centro de alerta de tsunamis en el Atlántico. Manejo de emergencias del Caribe. Una situación mortal se está desarrollando en la totalidad de la nación. Un huracán masivo se ha intensificado explosivamente. Esto de alguna manera resultó en un tsunami catastrófico. Se recomienda a todos los residentes que realicen una evacuación vertical de inmediato. Esto es, simplemente, el movimiento a un terreno más alto. Actúa ahora para proteger tu vida. No espere, actúe ahora.
This is NBC 6 News with a special report.
This is NBC 6 with breaking news. The storm that triggered a tsunami yesterday is even stronger still. This storm. I don't know what to say about this. NOAA's Doppler radar detected winds in Hurricane Sophia at 450 miles per hour. And it was increasing every few seconds as the measurement was taken. This can't be real. I thought Hurricane Laura in 2020 was horrifying. Was that even in 2020? It's been so long. NOAA has decided to not send any further aircraft into Sophia. 2 of the Hurricane Hunter aircraft were destroyed by the storm. I don't think many storms have done that before. As the storm intensifies, the National Weather Service has decided to upgrade the hurricane scale, also called the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale. They have added categories 6, 7, Hypercane and Super Hypercane. For more info on these new categories, check out weather.gov. There will be a part of the website where you can check out the wind scale. So far the storm has caused catastrophic damage and, hang on, I just received something from my producer. Oh my. The storm has just risen to winds over 500 miles per hour in just minutes. Oh my, we are getting reports it's producing another tsunami due to its rapid intensification, and holy words I can't say on TV. The tsunami is going to hit here. And an emergency alert is coming through the wire. Us at NBC 6 are going to get out of here. Meanwhile, we will activate the emergency alert system. Alright guys, let's get the G out of here. Mandatory evacuation order. This is not a test. To repeat, this is not a test. Please pay attention to this alert. This alert pertains to a life or death situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the National Weather Service, the New Atlantic Tsunami Warning Center, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and the Government of Florida. This is a statewide evacuation order. Due to the catastrophic threat of Hurricane Sophia, all residents are advised to evacuate. The hurricane not only generated a tsunami, but is also expected to make a landfall in the Floridian Peninsula. Winds in excess of 500 miles per hour are expected. The tsunami will arrive in 30 minutes. Once again, all residents are advised to evacuate. Ensure you leave with all members of your residence, including pets. When evacuating, remember to take food, water, medical supplies, a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, preferably NOAA brand, clothing, a flashlight, extra batteries, a mobile phone, insurance information, supplies for your pets, if you have any, prescribed medications and money. Ensure your supplies will last you at least 3 months. When evacuating, follow evacuation routes and listen to local civil authorities. It is advised to leave the entire state of Florida. If you remain, you will face certain death. Do not pick up relatives from schools or nursing homes. These facilities have their own emergency procedures. Above all, remain calm. If you panic, the situation will be worsened. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation, and should be taken seriously. Do not wait to evacuate. Evacuate now. Do not wait. Evacuate now. Your life depends on evacuation.
Mr. President.
I know. The storm's coming.
Yes, we have to leave. Now.
Is it possible to escape by car?
I was told that was completely impossible. There will be a large number of civilians evacuating. There is simply no possible way we could do that and get out in time.
Then prepare Air Force One. I don't know, Mr. President. We have not used that plane in over 30 years. We practically forgot about it and stopped taking care of it. Yes, Mr. Vice President. That is true. But we don't have many other options.
All right then, we will have Air Force One prepared.
Mandatory evacuation order. This is not a test. To repeat, this is not a test. Please pay attention to this alert. This alert pertains to a life or death situation. The following message is transmitted at the request of the National Weather Service, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the United States government, and the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This is an evacuation of several states along the eastern United States. These states are Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, Maryland, District of Columbia, Louisiana, and Pennsylvania. If you are in any of these mentioned states, you are advised to evacuate immediately. This evacuation is called due to the impending threat of Super Hurricane Sophia. Even if you are on the border of the storm's path, you still must leave. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation, and should be taken seriously. Be sure to grab all the members of your home and leave. Take food, water, medical supplies, a flashlight, extra batteries, prescribed medication, a battery-powered or hand-cranked radio, preferably Noah brand, insurance information and clothing. Ensure your supplies last up to 4 months. Do not attempt to survive the storm underground. The wind is so powerful that even underground shelters in the Caribbean have been destroyed. There is no possible way to survive this storm without evacuating. Above all, remain calm. If you panic, the situation will be worsened. This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation, and should be taken seriously. Evacuate now. Do not wait. Evacuate now. Your life depends on evacuating. The National Weather Service issued a dust storm warning for states of Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and Oklahoma, until further notice. At 1:28 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Doppler radar and storm spotters were tracking a massive dust storm, which was moving northwest at 50 miles per hour. Hazard, 70-mile-per-hour winds, and blowing dust. Source, Doppler radar and trained storm spotters. Impact, visibility will be reduced substantially. Those with asthma will suffer if outdoors. There are also unconfirmed reports of landspout tornadoes inside the storm. For your protection, take cover now. Move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If in a vehicle, pull over to the side of the road, turn on your hazards, and crouch down until the storm stops. If outside, Locate the nearest substantial shelter. Seek shelter now. This is NBC News, with a special report. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently covering one of the most extreme tropical cyclones in history. Hurricane Sophia is currently sitting on the northern Floridian border. The storm is moving northward and is absolutely obliterating everything in its path. And we have a photo just in from a sister station in the south. Holy cow. This is pure nightmare fuel. It just looks like a black wall of death. It very much reminds me of a shelf cloud from summertime thunderstorms. If this thing is coming your way, you need to get out. Speaking of the storm, we have a correspondent, Gail, within the storm. You there, Gail?
Yep, I am here. I can just barely hear you clearly. These winds are so loud that I can barely even hear myself think. And if anyone is wondering, I am inside of a reinforced steel building. It is built to withstand winds up to 600 miles per hour. I should be safe in here, I hope. All outdoor anemometers were completely destroyed. The highest last reading microseconds before one of the anemometers broke was at 567 miles per hour. Through the reinforced windows, before they were blocked by storm surge and rain, I saw that our news band was blown into the building, shredded. And then, just like in a movie or a video game, it was ripped apart one part at a time. The storm also is damaging the roofs heavily. We may have to take cover in the underground section of the building.
What was that?
A car went through the walls. I am sorry, but I have to take cover immediately. No, I am not interested in dying.
Wait, we can't have people being killed live on air. Mr. Vice President, got any updates? Yes, but it's nothing good, that's for sure. Well, just give it to me straight. Without us in the government buildings, the United States will collapse. Based on info collected by the FBI, the United States will descend into anarchy where the storm hit directly. Other states with a good enough economy, like California, Texas, Alaska, and Hawaii, will become separate countries. So, it is literally the worst case scenario for us. I want an emergency action notification issued, if that is possible. All right. I will tell the Federal Emergency Management Agency. This is an emergency action notification, requested by the White House. All EAS participants will follow activation procedures in the EAS Operating Handbook. For a national-level emergency, the President of the United States, or his designated representative, will shortly deliver a message over the emergency alert system. Please stand by. Please stand by. Please stand by. We interrupt your programming. This is a national emergency. Important instructions and details will follow. Stand by. A representative of the President will be speaking shortly.
The following message has been given authorization for release at the request of the President, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the National Weather Service, and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, effective starting at 5:07 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 4:07 p.m. Central Daylight Time, 3:07 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, 2:07 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and 1:07 p.m. Alaskan Aleutian Time. This is not a test. Repeating again. This is not a test. I am speaking on behalf of the President, who is currently being transported to a safe, undisclosed location. Please pay attention, as this alert pertains to an event that will change your life. A saddening conclusion was made by the FBI and the National Weather Service. It is confirmed that Hurricane Sophia will cause the United States to collapse. This is due to the lack of government officials present, and the destruction of Washington, D.C. States in the directly affected area are going to fall into complete anarchy. The rest of the states will become independent. This includes, but is not limited to the following states: Texas, California, Oklahoma, Alaska, Hawaii, New Mexico, Washington State, Oregon, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Arizona, and Nevada. In addition, the storm is showing few signs of weakening. The storm is expected to destroy New York City. If you are within the area north of the storm, which means the entirety of New England, as well as the eastern side of the Great Lakes, currently, the storm's wind speed is slowly decreasing, but the storm is not changing in size hardly at all.
Do not worry, you will not survive Hurricane Sophia. Do not be worried. Do not be worried.
Do not listen to the glitch. To repeat, do not listen to the glitch. If you are in the path of this storm, evacuate immediately. By not evacuating, you are putting your life in extreme danger, and likely would face certain death if the storm passes over top of you. Even far away from the storm, there is catastrophic danger, as debris has been found launched from Hurricane Sophia. Debris has been reported as far away as the U.S. Great Plains. To add to this, the storm has also destroyed various nuclear power plants. The storm is now radioactive and even more dangerous. If you are in one of the states that will be in a state of anarchy, it is best to keep a weapon on you at all times, as there will be no law and order, allowing crimes to increase substantially. As said earlier, the United States will collapse as a result of this. However, when we get the chance, we will restore our nation once again, and we will be stronger than ever before. The government wishes you all the best of luck. Once this alert ceases, all news stations will go offline, and before then, we will be playing the national anthem, as this may be the last time you will hear it. May God bless the United States of America. From a representative of the President, good luck and goodbye.
Emergency warning for the New York Republic. The following is a message broadcasted by the National Weather Service, the World Meteorological Organization, and the Government of New York. The warning pertains to an evacuation order. The storm that recently caused the United States to collapse, Hurricane Sophia, is now about to impact the former U.S. state of New York. If you are in this state, especially New York City or Albany, you must leave the area immediately. Failure to do so will result in certain death. It is best to evacuate to Canada or to the area west of the storm. Evacuate now. Do not wait. Evacuate now. The following is a civil danger threat for the eastern portions of Canada, until further notice. The following message is transmitted at the request of Environment Canada, the Canadian Government, NASA, the World Meteorological Organization, and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. To all residents receiving this alert, evacuate to the opposing side of Canada immediately. The same storm that was causing catastrophic damage in the United States, Hurricane Sophia, is expected to pass through Canada. Do not attempt to survive this storm underground. Do not remain in the area. Staying put will result in certain death. This storm is also lobbing debris great distances. Once you arrive at the location you are evacuating to, remain indoors and refrain from going outside as much as possible. Evacuate now. Do not wait. Evacuate now. Your life depends on evacuating. Now repeating in French.
Ce qui suit est une menace de danger civil pour les parties orientales du Canada. Jusqu'à nouvel ordre. Le message suivant est transmis à la demande d'Environnement Canada. Le gouvernement canadien, la NASA, l'Organisation météorologique mondiale et l'Organisation du traité de l'Atlantique Nord. À tous les résidents qui reçoivent cette alerte, évacuez immédiatement vers l'autre côté du Canada. La même tempête qui causait des dégâts catastrophiques aux États-Unis, Hurricane Sophia, devrait traverser le Canada. N'essayez pas de survivre à cette tempête souterraine. Ne pas rester dans la zone. Rester sur place entraînera une mort certaine. Cette tempête projette également des débrissures de grande distance. Une fois arrivé à l'endroit où vous évacuez, restez à l'intérieur et s'abstenir de sortir autant que possible. Évacuez maintenant. N'attendez pas, évacuez maintenant. Votre vie dépend de l'évacuation.
So how bad are the engines doing? Pretty bad. The debris caused both engines to malfunction. We have no choice but to make an emergency landing here in Lisbon. Of course, it has to get worse. Get into crash positions in the back part of the plane. That will ensure that you have the highest chance of survival. What about you? Someone has to fly this plane, even if it's the last thing they would do. I am going to do it.
No. I am going to do it. I know you and the president have been good friends. Losing a friend or family member would only put more pressure on the president.
Understood. Thank you. And good luck. It's safe. That is going to leave me with nightmares for years to come. Thankfully, it seems the airport knows. I hear fire engines coming. What about the co-pilot? I don't know. Maybe she's alive? I'll go check. Oh great. She's dead. Rest in peace.
This is an activation of the emergency broadcast system, activated by the British Broadcasting Corporation. The following alert pertains information about a tropical cyclone. The storm, called Hurricane Sophia, is a Category 2 hurricane with winds of 160 kilometers per hour. The damage that will be caused by this storm will be devastating to the region. Storm surge will occur in coastal areas. Flooding will occur in low-lying areas. Do not drive through flooded roadways. Water is much more powerful than most would think and is capable of floating away large vehicles. If you encounter a flooded roadway, turn around and drive the other way. This storm will also be accompanied with powerful, damaging winds and possibly even tornadoes. For your safety, when the storm passes overhead, you should head indoors. Remain in an interior room, where it is the safest. When the storm is over, remain cautious as debris will be scattered. Downed power lines and gas mains will become a threat after the storm has passed. The government of the United Kingdom is in a safe location. More information will be released when it comes available.
Die folgende Nachricht wird auf Anfrage der Europäischen Union übermittelt. Die Weltorganisation für Meteorologie und der deutschen Regierung. In verschiedenen Gebieten Mitteleuropas hat sich eine Reihe von Tornados gebildet. Diese Stürme entstehen durch die Überreste des Hurrikans Sophia. Bisher wurden über 20 Tornados gemeldet. Weitere werden sich voraussichtlich in den nächsten Stunden bilden. Hunderte von Tornados werden erwartet. Einige Tornados können extrem stark sein. Allen Bewohnern, die diese Nachricht erhalten, wird empfohlen, auf sich ändernde Wetterbedingungen wachsam zu bleiben. Bleiben Sie bei einer Tornadowarnung in einem Innenraum im untersten Stockwerk eines stabilen Gebäudes.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the European Union, the World Meteorological Organization, and the German government. A series of tornadoes have been forming across various areas throughout Central Europe. These storms are formed as a result of the remains of Hurricane Sophia. Over 20 tornadoes have been reported so far. More are expected to form over the next few hours. Hundreds of tornadoes are expected. Some tornadoes may be extremely strong. All residents receiving this message are advised to remain vigilant for changing weather conditions. When under a tornado warning, remain in an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building.
Katastrofalne zagrożenie tornado. Powtarzając, katastrofalne zagrożenie tornado. Powstało niezwykle gwałtowne i potężne tornado, które prawdopodobnie uderzy w Kraków. Tornado uderzy w ciągu najbliższych 20 minut. Szkody wyrządzone przez to tornado są bezprecedensowe.
Do tej pory raporty wykazały, że tornado dokonało następujących czynności.
Rozerwane jezdnie, przetarły ziemię na głębokość do 30 cm.
Uszkodzone lub nawet zniszczone fundamenty domów.
Same domy zniknęły z niewielkim lub żadnym śladem. Samochody zostały zniszczone nie do poznania, a niektóre zupełnie zniknęły. Drzewa zostały wyniesione i wyrzucone daleko, niektóre całkowicie poszarpane. Trwalsze drzewa okolorowane i pozbawione gałęzi.
Nawet piwnice zostały uszkodzone, a nawet zniszczone.
Jest to wyjątkowo niebezpieczna sytuacja i nie można jej lekceważyć. Musisz zejść pod ziemię, jeśli chcesz mieć szansę na przeżycie tej burzy.
Nawet wtedy przeżycie nie jest gwarantowane. Ale musisz spróbować, bo wciąż jest szansa na przeżycie tej katastrofy. Powtórzę, katastrofalne tornado ma uderzyć w Kraków za niecałe 20 minut.
Jeśli pozostaniesz na powierzchni, ta burza cię zabije. Dostać się do dowolnego schronu podziemnego, jaki możesz.
Now repeating in English. Catastrophic tornado threat. Repeating, catastrophic tornado threat. An incredibly violent and powerful tornado has formed and is expected to strike Krakow. The tornado will hit in the next 20 minutes. The damage done by this tornado is something almost never seen. The damage done by this tornado is unprecedented. So far, reports have shown that the tornado has done the following. Ripped apart roadways, scoured the ground up to 30 centimeters deep. Damaged or even destroyed house foundations. Houses themselves were gone with little to no trace. Cars were mangled far beyond recognition, and some have completely vanished. Trees were lofted and thrown far away, some completely shredded. More durable trees debarked and stripped of branches. Even basements have been damaged or even destroyed. This is an extremely dangerous situation and cannot be taken lightly. You must get underground if you want any chance of surviving this storm. Even then, survival is not guaranteed. But you must try, as there is still a chance of surviving this catastrophe. To repeat, a catastrophic tornado is expected to strike Krakow in a bit under 20 minutes. If you remain above ground, this storm will kill you. Get to any underground shelter you possibly can. This is the former President of the United States. For those of you willing to help restore the United States, hope is not lost. We are working with the governments of Texas, California, and 6 other former states. This message is official, posted on all social media platforms. Some news radios and TV stations will be broadcasting this message as well. We will try to have many states peacefully reunite with the United States. It's possible a war may result from this. This is why partly we are calling upon civilians to help. Some states have fallen into the hands of dictators, including states such as Wyoming and Alaska. But together we can restore our former glory. Some of you may join the United States military and attempt to help us. Things will be different from now on, and we will have a backup capital city as well. However, cataclysmic damage has been reported across the eastern region. We need military not only for protection but also to help any potential survivors. We can and will rebuild. Thank you for listening.